up, everyone? It's me, Steph, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and I'm here with our erstwhile leader, Andy Signor. And yeah, we're talking really a game of two halves here when it comes to Britney and Jada. Within the space of a week, they've released their memoirs. Jada's Worthy, Britney Spears is The Woman in Me. And yeah, I suppose overall, I definitely rate Britney's book over Jada's any day of the week. I think Andy would certainly agree with me on that one, wouldn't you?
I do want to say at some point during our live, which will be here longer, I want someone to pick a page number. I guess the page numbers go all, my God, it's long. 405. So from, 1 to 405, at some point we'll pick a random number and I will do a dramatic reading of Worthy, and you can all tell me if I'm worthy. But it sounds like Jada wasn't that worthy, Steph, because it sounds like her book has flopped massively hard as opposed to Britney, which sales are soaring. And we got a lot of reactions and stuff we're going to go through today, talking about both books and just talking, hanging out. That's what we do here every Tuesday, Thursday. And I hope Tuesday, guys, I'm hoping to be back in studio. I can't wait. No offense, Steph. Thank you for everything. I can't wait to have the control back and do it the way we do it. But thank you for everything Steph's done. She has stepped up tremendously. Please send her some food. She's missing her tea time today. You can PayPal Steph to help her with that. And thank you for all the support you've sent, guys. My eye's getting better, and I'm happy to be here live. Let's get to this main topic. We got some reactions. Yes, Steph?
Yes, we do. So, first and foremost, news has come out today that Britney Spears' memoir has smashed records and beaten Prince Harry's spare sale records. And it's become the biggest selling celebrity memoir of all time after it was released only 2 days ago, guys. It seems like it's been released forever at this point. But yeah, here is the tweet from Britney saying it's happening. My book is the highest selling celebrity memoir in history, and it's only day one. Thank you to the fans who've been so supportive. Love you all. And yeah, so Britney has beaten Prince Hazard. And yeah, I'm definitely celebrating over that one for obvious reasons. But don't worry. Prince Hazard doesn't have that much to wah about. He still holds a special record, which is, yes, the Memoir Spare being the most dumped book of the summer. So at least he has that claim to fame, Andy. But yeah, what are your reactions to Britney beating Prince Hazard, first and foremost?
I mean, so well deserved, and couldn't happen to a nicer ginger. But yes, and just it's a far more interesting story, if we're being honest, because yes, they're both celebrities, but Britney's been through actual trauma. Britney is an actual victim, right? Unlike, wah, Mr. I was born with a silver spoon and I'm the spare. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Prince Harry is the Jamie Lynn Spears of the royal family. And I'd much rather read about, the others, William or the King even, than I do about Prince Harry. And Britney has had a much more interesting, successful career, and Harry is not. So I'm glad that the public was able to sort through that and humble Prince Harry to say, yeah, no, you're not keeping that title for long. There was a lot of curiosity factor because of all the royal drama, obviously and fairly, but Britney absolutely deserved that crown, and I hope she keeps it for a bit.
Absolutely. And one person that's not getting a crown is Jada. So where Britney is breaking records, Jada is not, and her memoir is officially a flop. She failed to break the top 100 in the Amazon charts, not only here in the UK, but in America as well. But on other multiple bestseller lists, she's not faring well at all. So Barnes & Noble, she didn't crack the top 100 with them. And she's been outsold by other celebrity titles, including Arnold Schwarzenegger's Be Useful, Seven Tools for Life, and The Full House, John Stamos' memoir.
Look, Steph, sorry, we have a delivery from our own Diego. Say hi, Diego! Diego brought me the People magazine with Britney on the cover. Oh, thank you. Put it for my collection. Thank you, buddy. Love you.
Oh, hey up, Diego.
Although I don't like this picture of her, I got to be honest. It feels like people have gotten a better picture of our queen, but oh well.
Oh well.
Sorry, continue.
No, it's cool. So yeah, she's failing to break the top 100 when it comes to bestseller lists. Also, as well, she's been outsold by a number of other celebrity titles and memoirs. So we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger's "Be Useful: 7 Tools for Life," and Britney Spears is the one. And John Stamos' memoir is also outselling Jada as well. So, what's your reaction to that? That everyone is basically just outselling Jada, and why do you think that is, Andy?
Is that shade? I would think. I mean, I would think I'm way more interested in John Stamos than Jada, right? Like that's not on a B less celebrity level. John Stamos is a bigger celebrity, right? Just from Full House alone. Would you agree, Steph?
No. But I suppose it depends where you are in the
Well,
world.
why do you say that? Because she's married to Will Smith. Like what has Jada done that has earned her a bigger fame card than John Stamos?
Because John Stamos is bigger in America than he is in the UK. In the UK, it's the other way
But
around.
what in the UK has made Jada famous?
Because we don't really know John Stamos. Full House really over here isn't that big of a deal. We only know about Full House because of the Olsen twins. That's it.
Why do you know about Jada?
We know about Jada for essentially 3 reasons. Well, 4 actually. A, The Nutty Professor. B, Collateral. C, The Matrix films. And then D, Will Smith. Will Smith, the biggest reason of all, of course.
I mean,
but
I don't even think of her as the Matrix films. There's 100 actors before her. Collateral? Like,
yeah, she's in that.
John Stamos is a Beach Boy. Don't you even know the Beach Boys?
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know who the Beach Boys are. But anyway, John Stamos is bigger. I will say it. Maybe not in the UK, but I would argue, yes, she's famous because she's Will Smith's wife. And Will Smith is a global superstar, of course. And that's why. But the fact is John Stamos to me has a far more interesting career as well than Jada. That was what I was getting at as to, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Arnold Schwarzenegger, lots more people released stuff this time. And she thought she was worthy of these titles, and she isn't. Look, there was a curiosity bump. She clearly sold some books. She must have made an like a upfront advance, no doubt, for the book. I'm not going to dispute that she made some money, but did she make the bonuses and things that she probably hoped? Is she such a best-selling author that she gets to do another one? No, because I don't even think she's a #1 bestseller, right? If anything, she's just a bestseller, which is a vague title because there's so many now categories to fall in that it sort of doesn't matter what it is. Thank you, buddy. Ooh, you gave me from your trick or treat thing. How was it? Was it good? Well, he got me gummies. Diego gave me gummy bears from his trick or treat trunk day at school. Thank you, buddy. Love you.
Aww. That's sweet.
We interrupt the show when my kids come in because that's what life's about. Sorry, guys. But anyway, yes, I'm not surprised. What else we got, Steph, as I eat some gummy bears?
Yeah, so as you're eating gummy bears, so they're not her. Britney's breaking records. Jada isn't. And next up, though, is the reactions to both books coming out. Is definitely a tale of two halves. So Sam Asghari here, this was released earlier on today, is saying that he's proud of Britney, adding that I hope she takes over the world. So he's proud of Britney, the book, is wishing her nothing.
That's how you do it, folks.
Exactly. No shade whatsoever.
I'm not going to have a problem with that guy if he continues to be like this and not a jackass, you know?
Correct. However, reactions to Jada once she released her book from famous people, well, 50 Cent. Now, this was an absolute roast. I loved this when Andy showed me, saying, all right, enough is enough, free Will Smith. WTF is going on. And then let's go to another reaction for the Britney crew. So we've got Paris Hilton saying, love you, Britney Spears. Congratulations on your new book. But then we've got on the other side of coin, Jada, Jim Jones being skeptical about what Jada put into her book, particularly about the time when she was a quote unquote illicit substance dealer. Let's put it that way for the YouTube human reviewer. Basically saying we need to verify. We need to go check and see if they got some friends that can verify, validify that she was selling that she had that butter on the block for sale. So where celebrities in Britney's corner is completely applauding her, supporting her, loving what she's done, on Jada's side of things, celebrities there are absolutely roasting her and actually thinking, hang on a minute, what you're writing about, is it true? Are you telling the truth? Because we need to verify. Now, given that we have, in the end, reported a lot about Jada and her changing her story time and time and time again, are you surprised that on Britney's side, everyone is supporting her, congratulating her, and on Jada's side, everyone's roasting her and being skeptical about what she's actually written in there? Andy?
Am I?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think she's made up a lot of stuff in this book. Like this idea that Jada is Walter White in Baltimore is a complete joke to me. So no, I think she's made up a lot of stuff. Look, I think she's had to toughen up her image, and she's speaks so highly of herself. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff in Worthy that's interesting. Like, I'm not going to dispute that the woman has had some, I'm sure, interesting things happen in her life. She's been in some movies, legit. She's had a career. I can't deny that she hasn't like worked and done things more than Meghan Markle. Like, she's definitely achieved higher acting status and whatnot than, say, Meghan, who is somebody I would think a lot of people compare Jada to. But what she's done to Will Smith and her leeching onto him for that fame, right? That's to me still the biggest egregious thing. Like, could Jada have been on the streets doing some stuff at the time? Maybe. To the extent that she was, I want some more evidence.
Mm. And so we get on to the next tale of two halves, is what Britney and Jada have done and said after the book's release. And again, the comparison is extremely telling. So here is Britney saying, my book's purpose was not to offend anyone by any means. That was me then. That is in the past. I don't like the headlines I'm reading. That's exactly why I quit the business 4 years ago. Most of the book is from 20 years ago. I've moved on, and it's a beautiful clean slate from here. I'm here to re-establish it that way for the rest of my entire life. Either way, that's the last of it, and shiz happens. This is actually a book I didn't know needed to be written. Although some might be offended, it has given me closure on all things for a better future. Hopefully, I can enlighten people who feel particularly alone in most cases, or hurt or misunderstood. Again, my motive for this book was not to harp on my past experiences, which is what the press is doing, and it's dumb and silly. I've moved on since then, the woman in me. So she's drawing a line in the sand and turning around and saying, look, what I've written in the book is what I've written in the book. That is it, done and dusted, right? But then you've got Jada, on the other hand, and check out, our video from earlier on today, a couple of hours ago, that since the book's release, the story keeps changing time and time and time and time again, right? And so, yeah. Andy, how do you think Jada can recover? Could she recover from all of this, from her inconsistencies?
It's an interesting question. I mean, like, recover it to whose eyes? Like, Jada, I don't feel like ever thinks she messes up. Like, she's the type of person that I think thinks she's winning, right? And it's probably selling tremendously. And sure, she probably gets annoyed when the things aren't going her way, but she doesn't seem like the type who admits to failure. You know what I mean? So in whose eyes, like, will she be more liked? Her audience will like her no matter what. We saw it in that clip we played today. Like, that clip was insane. And I don't know if you still have it, like, it's worth playing, but like, she's out there just changing the story. And this audience in Atlanta is like, yeah, and it's like, literally, we were making the joke, but I believe it. She could be like, I just murdered my dog. Yes. It was just this bizarre, like, cult of, and look, and to be fair, a lot of celebrities have that. There are certain fans that will be so devoted to their celebrity no matter what. Like, I have JT fans randomly hating me because I'm calling them out, even though there's clear proof and it's not looking good, right? Every celebrity has a group of people that support. So can she rebound? I don't know if she feels like she missed. So hard to answer, because For me, how could she rebound for me? By really owning up the fact that she emasculated Will Smith and that it's not all about her. Like for her to actually sit down and be like, look, I watched all this press, I read the book, I saw the feedback, and I realized I'm very full of myself. Like I have a big head, all this stuff. Like if she were to do that and be honest about it and attempt to work on that and take some accountability, then yes, I think she could rebound with a lot more people. I think until then, she's just going to be one of those love to hate type of personalities, like Megan, like Amber, dare I say it. I think she falls in that camp of just people don't like her.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I don't think really, short of a miracle, there's any way at this point, as far as I'm concerned, that Jada can recover from this absolute disaster of a book and the PR that, you know, came before it and has come after it. If anything, I think the poor book sales can be attributed partly to the inconsistency from Jada with her changing her story so many times. People might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, why buy your book? The book's supposed to be the truth, but you're changing your story so many times. Like, what's the point in buying your book if it's changing anyway, even afterwards? It's a very strange kind of carry-on going on. But what isn't a strange carry-on going on for Britney is ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. She is getting 25% net profits from Woman in Me. Britney Spears is making bank, and more power to her. But Andy wanted to discuss this bit here, saying that apparently with Cade Hudson, he reportedly pushed Britney to write and finish this book in the first place, and she wanted nothing to do with it initially, but he pushed her, and eventually, of course, the book is now in existence. So what were your thoughts, Andy, when you saw this article and you saw this in particular when it came to Cade and Britney?
Well, it's interesting because we've heard about this Cade character, her manager, best friend. He's mentioned in the book actually as someone who, in her darkest points at that mental facility, someone who sort of helped call and distract her and make her laugh, and check in on her. There's been a lot of, in the fandom, there's been a lot of like questions, and I know some of the fandom doesn't like him and trust him. It's hard. I understand why it'd be hard for anybody to trust anybody who's with Britney at this point. But Britney clearly does trust him, and she's been someone seemingly constant in her life. Whether that was, well, good or bad intentioned, unclear. But he's been there, so it is what it is. I don't have any personal info on him. I can't vouch for him. I don't know, but Britney does, so I'm going to trust her at this point and hope that he has good intentions. That said, he's the one who clearly was pushing for that book. And I can't see the article because Steph is buying a Stream Deck while we're talking.
Sorry, I'm having to do that only because no.
Put that in another tab, Steph.
No, hang on. Full disclosure on this, right? You might be thinking, hang on a minute, the screens are kind of like sticking. The reason being is because I'm pressing on my Stream Deck and it's not changing screens. So as Andy is talking at the moment,
she's like, I'm buying a new Stream Deck.
I'm buying a new Stream Deck so that I can get it for tomorrow.
That's where the Stephanie Alternate goes. She always puts it towards the gear, and to make sure she gets dinner when shows taping take too long. So go support Steph on her PayPal. But anyway, keep buying that. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was making a joke. As for Cade and that TMZ article, yeah, I mean, I can't see it now, but it says, yeah, it's sort of like he was the one who was pushing. There it is. He repeatedly pushed Britney to write and finish the book. There were times she wanted nothing to do with it, but Hudson pushed her, and eventually, belatedly, it happened. Now, I can't dispute that. From everything I've heard, I don't want to speak out of turn, but from everything I've heard, like now that Britney's free and out, like she doesn't want to work. And I don't say it as a negative thing. Like I just see that as like she wants a freaking break. She wants to zone out and check out and just, live the way that can afford to live. And I don't blame her. So I could see that being a pretty big task to suddenly you're out, you're free, you're living it up, you're still trying to get everything together, you're spending lots happening, right? I could see that she might have needed someone to be like, hey, come on, this is gonna be important. Let's get this book out. One, it's a huge amount of money that I think she does need right now because the lawsuits are not cheap. She spent a lot of money on those lawsuits. And there's not a lot of other income. She's clearly not ready to record and perform right now. She wants some time to heal, totally. Writing the book is a good therapeutic, cathartic way to like get some of this out. put it out there, get paid. And I think it was a smart move. Honestly, look, there's some backlash in that I see some in the fandom who are like, and we're going to talk about this, I hope, later with an expert, but there's some that are, and I felt this way a little bit, I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit where it's like, okay, we knew all this, Britney. Where's the good stuff? Like, this is all stuff you've told us in the court filings and everything else. Like, I thought you were going to give us more dirt and really spill all the beans and explain it all. And there was a part of me that was annoyed, Steph, that wasn't there. And I said that in our review. I said, I wish we could have gotten a little bit more insight on details on certain things. However, like after I finished it, I was like, look, this is more a summary, I think, for people who did not get as invested and follow as closely as we did. I think there's a lot of people who weren't watching our coverage and BJ, Surprise Witness, and others, and who aren't going to Breathe Heavy and doing all the deep dives that the hardcore Britney fans are doing. I think this book is made for more the casual and the, slightly more bigger fans of Britney to really get the lowdown of what happened. And it does read that way. And so that when I read that Kate Hudson thing, it does make me wonder, like, was Britney sort of putting things out there and then they were just trying to do a summary of, oh, here's what we know so far. Here's what Britney's given us. Did the ghost authors sort of just organize it, string it together with her approval? Maybe. Do I have a problem with that? No, I don't think it's lies. You know what I mean? I don't think it's fake, but I think it's a good summary of what's happened. I think there's some really important, deep personal stuff in there that I think the world needs to hear. Now, do I hope there's a later book where we finally get the real truth behind it all? Yes, but clearly a lot of justice needs to be served. A lot of stuff is still happening legally. And I hope we can get Christopher Melcher on at some point to talk about that in a future video. I'm working on it. I'm getting him to read the book, hopefully, and we'll see if he has time. But if he does, I would love to legally talk about, like, all right, now what? Now that this book's out, what are the repercussions? What can happen? So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts. Stay tuned. I hope to get that video, if not this week, next week, and talk about the legal repercussions and what's next for justice for Britney, which was hashtagging. I like that. Hashtag justice for Britney. I think this will start a new wave of support of people who will feel for her. And I think if Cade pushed it, I can't be mad at him, because from a marketing standpoint, I think this was a very smart way to get the truth out to an extent and get the media and people on her side again, which, some of her posts and stuff and her silence and weirdness have, sort of stopped. This book was a very good opportunity to get people back on to understand what's happening. So for that sake and for the positive and Michelle Williams narrating, etc., I think it makes her look like the superstar that she is, right? That she deserves to be. So from that standpoint, if Cade really did push and get it done, I would say bravo, good for you for pushing that one, because this was we needed something from her. Look, Steph, I'll be honest, I still need proof of life. Like, I still want that sort of interview or moment. It's weird to me that there's not like more photo shoots of her for the book, at least. I understand she's afraid to do the interviews, but I would like to see, and I wish her team or Cade or someone would just give us that so there would stop being these speculations about it. I'm not believing all the conspiracy theories, but that's my only other sort of thing, is I wish and hope in the days we will see her holding the book. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a single picture of her holding the damn book. And I would like to see more of that real stuff, just so fans can really see that, see, guys, it's all right. And I believe it is, but I hope in the weeks to come, we get more of that. Does that make sense? Do you agree, Steph?
That totally makes sense. And on that bombshell, guys, everyone in the live chat, stay exactly where you are. We're going to be going into the member-only replay version shortly. But everyone watching on the replay, thank you so much for joining today's video. On your way out, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to Popcorn Planet, turn that notification bell to all, like this video, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's when it comes to Britney versus Jada. Go one step further and join today for as little as $5.99 a month. Become a Popcorn Planeteer and get exclusive content from the man himself, Andy Signor. With that being said, again, those on the live stay exactly where you are, but everyone on the replay, here are some videos that you may want to clickety-click, clickety-click.
Clickety-click.